What's up, Zoners? So your draft is over, your team is set. Now all you have to do is look at the waiver wire. And guess what, man? There are some league winners on that waiver wire right now as we speak. So just look at last year, Jarrett McKinnon and Christian Watson. Today we're going to go over 5 players that are under 20% owned right now. And these are players that I think have a chance to maybe make that, most common players on a championship team list at the end of the season. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around for 7 seconds. What's up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Banjo, the dog, coming at you live from my garage, and this is the Fantasy RZ. Today's episode, you heard it in the intro, we're going to go over 5 players that I think might be able to make that list of most common players on a championship team. Christian Watson, Jarrett McKinnon were on that list last season, and they went undrafted. So we're going to start with the least owned player, and then we're going to work our way up to the most common owned player. First up, Alec Pierce. He is only 5.5% owned. That means like 1 out of every 20 people own this dude. He is 6'3". He is a second-year wide receiver, so he gets that second-year bump. Everybody is afraid of Anthony Richardson. Everybody thinks Michael Pittman Jr. is the number 1 wide receiver, but I owned him last year. I really don't know if he is a number 1 wide receiver. He is reported to have the best rapport with AR-15. He got the start with the first team alongside Michael Pittman. And if you listen to Shane Steichen talk about that connection between those two, it just sounds like something I want a part of. He did get missed on a huge deep ball. So not only is he going to be doing like intermediate routes, and what I saw from Michael Pittman was like shallow crosses and stuff. But dude, if we get Alec Pierce, who's ever catching those deep bombs, dude, on these play action passes from Anthony Richardson, is going to be a value. And Anthony Richardson, I'm not thinking he's going to be a league winner in the first half of the year. I think he's going to be a league winner in the second half of the year, a la Amon-Ra St. Brown's rookie season. So there you go, dude. I need to find somebody that I can attach to him. And that is Alec Pierce for me. Next up, the fastest man in the NFL, Jalin Hyatt. He is 5.7% owned right now. So again, 1 out of like every 20 players owns him. He is, I think he hit 24 miles per hour in practice. That broke Tyreek Hill's rookie season record of like 23 miles per hour. And then if you watch Steve Smith, who I really value in wide receiver, evaluations or whatever, he's like, what's going on here, man? Like, I've never seen a wide receiver more open on his highlight plays in my life. So that plus, his speed that we keep on hearing about just translate to like, I want a piece of this dude. Like he's special. You want like special traits in these players. There's no clear number 1 for the Giants right now. Dude, Daniel Jones just got paid. He has Brian Daboll, an offensive, head coach genius that drafted him. And it's like, dude, I think he was a 2nd-round draft pick or something like that. So a lot of draft capital. All they have is Waller, who, dude, they'll be so lucky if he makes it through the season. I'm a Waller owner like 3 times over. It sucks. The only preseason week that the Giants played all their starters was week 2, and that is when Daniel Jones started as well. And in that game, he had 5 targets. He turned that into 4 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown. Even, I watched the highlights, and it was like one of the first highlights was him getting the ball in the backfield from Daniel Jones, dude. So they're going to be using him creatively. They're going to be using him deep. They're going to be sending him on like jet sweeps and stuff like that. Maybe like a Tyreek Hill type of player. We just compared him with the speed. I'm really excited about Jalin Hyatt. I cannot believe he's only 5% owned right now. Number 3, Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn is 11.6% owned right now. If you've been watching the show, dude, like 3 months ago, I fell in love with the runner. And I've been making it rain on Deuce Vaughn, man, ever since then. I love Deuce Vaughn. First game, preseason, 8 for 50 and a touchdown, 3 receptions for 6 yards. Second game, 5 for 15 and a touchdown, 1 reception, 0 yards. He was held out with the starters in preseason game 3. That is great. Ronald Jones suspended for the first 2 games. Dude, and Tony Pollard, people want to forget about this. Oh, a la who, dude, those 3 people that Matthew Berry sits with, they're like, oh, did you know that Tony Pollard is like, in a monstrous offense, is going to be amazing. Like, dude, they build up this player. I love Tony Pollard, but we have to remember he ended the season with a broken leg. He had surgery to fix a fractured tibia, dude. And we do not know how he's going to come back from that. And it's like, man, like it is so scary. And all these experts are pushing him so hard. Zeke had 248 touches last year that are up for grabs. Dude, Pollard had 232. So even let's just say Pollard gets those Zeke carries. There's still 232 touches up for grabs, man. And Deuce Vaughn like dominated in college, dude, dominated. And the Cowboys were 5th in rushing attempts last season, and they want to run the ball more, apparently, under this conservative offense with Mike McCarthy. They have the number 6 ranked offensive line, so they can do it. Dude, so he is a better Darren Sproles. We talked about this. Darren Sproles was RB5 in PPR. in 2011. So just if something happens to Tony Pollard, or maybe it is a true 50-50, this guy is a more talented Darren Sproles. I am not kidding. This is like a league winner, dude. I am rolling the dice. I have drafted him in the last round of every single draft. I think I just did it on our mock draft last night. Shout out. Hey, this is Jason's birthday today. Hey, if you want to give a comment, say happy birthday, Jason. He'd be happy about that. He has the 19th strength of schedule, so it's not that great. But, dude, get on that train before the first week, dude. I'm telling you. Number 2. I pushed this dude all last year on our waiver wire show. Juwan Johnson. He is only 15% owned right now, dude. That is not great. He is 26 years old. Dude, he has the second easiest strength of schedule for tight ends this year. He was tight end 11 last year. He's not even being drafted right now. He had top 5 weekly finishes for tight ends last season, dude. That is huge. And that was all while catching 7 touchdowns in 7 games. He started with Derek Carr in preseason game 1, and he was targeted on the 3rd play of that drive. He also caught the next pass after a short couple crappy runs. So, dude, he had the 3rd play was targeted for him. Then they ran the ball a couple times, and then he got the ball again. And then Derek Carr went off the field after that drive. So he is going to be heavily involved, dude. If you know anything about Derek Carr and the Raiders, he loves his tight ends. And they do have Foster Moreau, but he is coming back from Hodgkin's lymphoma, so let's not put any eggs in that basket right now. Number 1. So my number 1 waiver wire pickup right now is Tank Bigsby. He's only 19% owned. So his first game, dude, 9 for 52, 5.8 yards per carry. Second preseason game, 13 for 70, 5.4 yards per carry. Third preseason game, 6 for 37, 6.2 yards per carry, dude. He was a 3rd round draft pick. Doug Peterson just keeps on talking about how he wants to run the ball so much, dude. Just keep on running. I want all the running backs, dude. Run the damn ball. We have ETN. He missed his rookie season with a Liz Frank injury. And I was reading articles given they were 10 years old because that's all I could find. But Liz Frank injuries in running backs usually does not turn out too well. So we're keeping our eye on that, dude. Like, that is kind of scary. Also, ETN was 17th in touches last year with 255. So they do use that guy with the Liz Frank injury. Tank finished 6th in yards after contact per attempt last year. Just watching that guy, he looks like a star, dude. It's like when you were watching James Robinson on the Jags like 3 years ago and he came out and just dominated. It's like, why didn't I see this? Dude, just watch it. It's like 10-yard chunks every play. And he's like making the right decisions. And he's so north and south, man. It's amazing compared to ETN, who is just like all over the field, man. He just wants does not want to hit the gap and just go. I could see this guy taking red zone carries, so many away from ETN. This guy could be a huge help. I see him being one of the, maybe 2 undrafted players making that most common championship team, or most common players on a championship squad, whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. That is it. I do want to throw out a couple names. I want to say Gerald Everett. He is 40% owned. Do you remember Dalton Schultz, dude? He made the most common list of championship players last year, and now Gerald Everett is going to fill that role, and a lot of times he's not even being drafted. It says Jared Goff is 43% owned. Come on, guys, man. We need to do a reality check here. Jared Goff needs to be on fucking fantasy teams. That's ridiculous. Tyler Algier, 34% owned, dude. People are forgetting how many running backs this team can support, dude. Go out there and get Tyler Algier. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I earned a thumbs up. Hopefully I earned a subscription, because we need it, dude. We need subscriptions. Hardcore, man. We're just a couple poor boys trying to make a fantasy show. Anyways, this is Tyler Big Turd Ward, and I appreciate you.